The year is 2002. Facebook is still 2 years away from launch. Justin and Britney are no longer a thing. Michael Jackson is dangling babies over balconies. Yu-Gi-Oh cards were the must-have toy. You even still had to have an external music player. Kelly Clarkson just won the first season of American Idol. The Clips hit single Grinding was being recreated on lunch tables across America. The first ever phone with a built-in camera was just introduced. LeBron James was still in high school. And lastly, the Lakers have just won their third title in as many years. Now, as one story franchise was adding to their legacy, another was making it pretty easy for us to forget any part of theirs. Due to lack of success, bad contracts, botched draft picks, and the inability to attract big-name stars, they were slowly becoming the laughingstock of the league. In this series, we plan to rewrite some of the history of the NBA, with the number one goal being make the Garden great again. Welcome to the Flashback MyLeague of the New York Knicks. Alright boys, welcome to the brand new series, NBA 2K3. But I know you guys can tell this isn't an older game. This isn't PS2 or anything like that. This is the PS4. We brought NBA 2K3 to NBA 2K19. Now, I had this set up last summer. I was going to do it before the new 2K came out. But, you know, it just didn't work out like that. And the reason why we're rocking out with the old 2K19, you know what I'm saying, these rosters and everything aren't out yet on 2K20. So, you know, I wanted to keep this, you know what I mean? I didn't want to wait. I wanted to bring this out to you guys as soon as possible. And I wanted to keep it realistic. So, real quick, going over the rosters. Like, as you guys can see here, this is the 2002 to 2003 rosters. We got Shaq and Kobe together. T-Mac is on the Magic. The Mavs got Dirk, Steve Nash, and Michael Finley. The Nets have J. Kidd, Kenyon Martin, and Richard Jefferson, Kerry Kittles. This team had just lost a year prior to the LA Lakers. You know, we got the Denver Nuggets, you know, the Carmelo-less Denver Nuggets. You see here, Nene had actually just got drafted by the Knicks coming into this year, but he was traded to the Nuggets along with Camby. Jermaine O'Neal, Ron Artest, and Reggie Miller are still on the Pacers. The Hornets, and you see here, these are the New Orleans Hornets, not the you see here, these are the New Orleans Hornets, not the Charlotte Hornets that we have now. Jamal Mashburn, B. Diddy, David Wesley, P.J. Brown. The Pistons before they got Rasheed Wallace and everything like that. Toronto Raptors, you know, they still got Vince Carter. He was the man over there. The Rockets got Steve Francis, Cuttino Mobley, Yao Ming. The Spurs got, you know, who they had. Steven Jackson's there. Stephon Marbury and Amari Stoudemire still on the Suns. The Supersonics are still a team in the NBA. Ray Allen, Rashard Lewis, and Brent Berry holding it down over there. The Timberwolves still have a very, very good KG along with Wally Zerbiak. The Trailblazers got Rasheed Wallace, Bonzi Wells, and Scottie Pippen. The Warriors, way before the Splash Bros, Antoine Jamison, Gilbert Arenas is still over there along with Jason Richardson. The Wizards have Jerry Stackhouse and Michael Jordan. The 40-year-old Michael Jordan is over here on the Wizard squad. AI is still on the Sixers, one of the best players in the league. You know what I'm saying? The Bucks got Gary Payton, Sam Cassell, Michael Redd. And the Bulls have Jalen Rose, Daniel Marshall, Eddie Curry. You know what I'm saying? Jamal Crawford in his rookie year over here on the Bulls. This is a team that I thought was going to be promising. This is pre, you know what I'm saying, draft LeBron. I mean, pre-LeBron Cavs. You know, the savior before LeBron was supposed to be DeJuan Wagner. You know what I mean? He's over here, young dude, really ready to put in some work and everything like that. Darius Miles is even supposed to be a contributor. They just got him over from the Clippers. The Celtics still just have Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker. You know, the Clippers, Elton Brand, Corey Maggette, Lamar Odom, Andre Miller, Oliver Candy, Q Rich. So, you know what I'm saying? The Grizzlies just moved from Vancouver to Memphis. The Hawks got Sharif Abdul-Rahim. The Heat got Eddie Jones, Karan Butler, Alonzo Mourning. And then the Charlotte Bobcats were not a team yet until the next year. So that's why we have everybody on their squad as a 40 overall. You know what I'm saying? Not in the next year, but the year after that. So they don't come to the 2004-2005 season. So I am controlling the Knicks and the Bobcats. That way I can control, you know, the Bobcats getting star players and everything like that. In the last few teams, Utah Jazz got a 40-year-old Karl Malone. They got a young AK-47, an old man John Stockton. The Kings have Chris Webber, Peja Stojakovic, Mike Bibby, Bobby Jackson, Vlade Divac. This team was very, very scary back in the early 2000s. And to show you guys how extensive I went into this whole thing, Yes, we have the upcoming 2003 draft. Now, with this draft, it's not going to be, you know, guys ranked where everybody thought they were going to go, you know, back then. This is going to be a hindsight's 2020 type of draft. So Melo and LeBron are the top 2 prospects, followed by Wade, Bosh, TJ Ford, Josh Howard, David West, Mo Williams, Michael Petras, Jose Calderon, Leandro Barbosa, Travis Outlaw, Chris Kaman, James Jones, Marcus Banks, Nick Collison, Quentin Ross, you know what I mean, Alexander Pavlovich, Steve Blake, Carlos Delfino, Luke Rittenauer, Kurt Heinrich, you name it. The guys are here and they're ready to go. Now that we got all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and meet the squad. We're just going to go with the players I expect to see big things out of here in this season. We are an older team. First things first, we got a starting point guard, 33-year-old Charlie Ward, former Heisman winner. Now in the season prior to this, Charlie Ward averaged 5.2 points a game, along with 1 steal, 3.2 assists, 2 boards, shot 81% from the free throw line, 32% from 3, 37% from the field, with 16.8 minutes a game in 63 games played, started none. Next up, we have the main man, our superstar, the first ever $100 million contract ever in the NBA, 6'6", 32-year-old Allen Houston. Now, in the season prior, he averaged a career best 20.4 points a game, 2.5 assists a game, 3.3 steals a game, 87% from the free throw line, 39% from the three-point line, 44% from the field goal, 44% total field goals in 38 minutes per game and 77 games played and 77 games started. Next up, that's going to bring us to scoring option number 2, 6'5", 34-year-old out of Alabama, Latrell Sprewell. 6'5", 34 years old, out of Alabama, Latrell. I will choke the shot out of my coach Sprewell. The season prior to this one, 19.4 points a game, 1 steal a game, 4 assists a game, 4 boards a game, 82% from the free throw line, 36% from 3, 40 from the field in total, 41 minutes a game, 81 games played, 81 games started. Next up, our starting 4-man, coming over from Denver the year prior, coming off of an injury. Only played 10 games for Denver, you know, but in those 10 games, he averaged 11 points, a block a game, a steal a game, 2 assists a game, 6 boards a game, 82%, from the free throw line, 57% from the field in 24 minutes played. Hopefully he can stay healthy for us in this season coming up. Now we move on to our starting 5-man. You know, a little on the size there, only 6'9", but he's a dog. 6'9", 230, 31 years old, out of Texas, Christian Kurt Thomas. Season prior, he averaged 14 points a game, a block, a steal, an assist, 9 boards, 81% from the free throw line, 16% from 3, 50% from the field in 34 minutes played, and he played and started in all 82 games. Now with our first man off the bench, our 6-man Howard Isley, 6'2", 177, 30 years old. If you guys can't tell by now, our squad is pretty old. He averaged 4 points a game. Just under one steal, you know, 2.6 assists, 1.3 boards, 79% from the free throw line. I guess you can round up to 80%. 24% from 3 and 34% total from the field. Playing 39 games, starting none. Now checking in with our first big off the bench, 6'9", 29 years old, Othello Harrington, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? In the season prior, averaged 8 points a game, half a block, almost half a steal, half an assist, 5 boards, 70% from the free throw line, 53% from the field, 20 minutes a game, playing in 77 games, starting 4. And now our second to last man off the bench, Shandon Anderson, 6'6", 208, 29 years old. In the year prior to this season, 5 points per game, almost a half, you know, a little bit over a half a steal, 1 assist, 3 boards, shooting 27% from 3, 69% from the free throw line, 40% from the field in total, playing in 82 games, starting in 6. And last but not least, our last guy off the bench that we expect production from is the undersized power forward, Clarence Weatherspoon, 6'6", 240, 34 years old, an old fella. In the year prior to this one, he averaged 9 points a game with a block, a steal, 1 assist, 8.2 boards, 80% from the free throw line, 42% from the field, averaging 31 minutes a game, playing in 56 games, and starting 41. The rest of the guys we got in our lineup, Lee Nalen, you know what I'm saying, out of Butler. Then we got LeVar Postel out of St. John's. We got Michael Doliak, this big 6'11 man out of Utah. Frank Williams, and Travis Knight, you know what I mean, is going to be on the reserves. Now, as you guys can see here, the average guy on our team is pretty old. Every one of our starters and stars is at least 30 years of age, and they've all been in the league for a while. So we definitely have a lot of room for improvement. We're going to go ahead here and take a look at, you know what I mean, the contract situation, upcoming free agents. We got Latrell Sprewell, Kurt Thomas, Clarence Witherspoon, Lee Nalen, and LeVar Pastel. I might not want to let Latrell Sprewell walk for free, so we might try to move him for sure, try to get younger there, or possibly get a draft pick. And we're going to look to do the same with Kurt Thomas. Very solid starter in this league. There's probably a few teams around the league that can use that big. Now, taking a little bit of a look at the long-term money we got to pay out. Allen Houston is due 14.2 this year, and next year he's due 16. Antonio McDyess is due 12.5. Next year he's due over 13.5. Shannon Anderson is getting 6.1 to 6.7 a year. Charlie Ward is getting 6 a year. Howard Osley's getting 6 a year. Kurt Thomas is getting 5 a year. You know what I mean? So it's not that bad. You know, we should have a good amount of salary cap moving forward, so that's definitely a plus for us looking for the future. All right, guys, that was me introducing you to the squad. Hopefully you guys are excited for this series. I'm really looking forward to bringing this series to you guys. You know what I mean? I know the Montreal Wildfire didn't really stick around the channel, but I promise you this series is going to be here to stay. You know, as long as just a few of you guys, you know, mess with it, you know what I mean? It's going to be coming back, you know, probably 2 to 3 times a week. You know, you guys could probably tell by now I'm going to be switching more back over to the franchise/dynasty content. You know what I mean? I'm going to give the characters everything, a break and everything like that. We'll get back to those dudes later on down the line. But for right now, you know what I mean? This, you know, is our NBA 2K MyLeague that we have going on. So hopefully you guys are excited for this and enjoyed this episode. If you did, and if you are, stop and smash that like button. Hit me up in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're new. It's your boy Uncle Sam's Reject, RKGames.com. I'm out of here. I want to give a special shout out to our Heisman sponsor, Isaac Johnson.